160,000.
£160,000.
It's another soundcast, bitch. Wow.
I realized that I have 160,000 subscribers.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Congratulations.
I finally put it together and I was like, 160,000
subscribers.
Technically 161
Well, yeah, but
for now.
But you could always give or take 1,000 for bots. So, like, honestly,
YouTube would certainly seem to think so.
Hi, Suki. Oh, big boy.
Last time,
Baby.
you think you're loving, but you don't love me.
Wow, wow, wow. Oh, well, we put up shelves. Rick put up shelves. Eric.
Shelf cart 8.
John P. Redacted. Ghostwriter for the Redacted fandom.
The P today stands...
Skibbity period. Sent out here being like, I don't like skibbity poo.
You understand?
Thank you. But hi, hello. We survived Pride Month 2024. Congratulations.
And so did you, if you're watching.
If you're watching from the grave, we honor you.
Rest in pepperonis.
Zuki, you don't be touching my stuff on my shelves.
He's like, a shelf?
Yeah, he is.
That's for me.
Look at his little grabbies.
He's literally like, shelf for me is me and shelf.
You understand. When we first got him and he was like this tall, like this big, I would just throw him up on my shoulder and he's just gone, mom, dad, mom in the past.
Parent.
Mm-hmm.
Parental figure.
Big bitch.
Oh.
I'm a lot taller than he is. But yeah, he just continues to think that he's still the same size and would like to hang out, which is very fun and sweet. So, oh hell yeah, you got the green little.
They have eyes.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Bring me their eyes.
Bring me her eyes. Bring me her eyes, Bring me her eyes, son.
Oh.
Oryx Crota.
Bring me her eyes.
That's yeah. So I figured this week we do something a little bit different and actually have a structured story of something I wanted to talk about. So, how often are you online? Are you a gamer?
I play games.
Mm-hmm. You do? With people's hearts?
No.
We don't have right on here.
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, right.
Thank you. I like that. I like that one. That's the one. So late, starting last week, there has been a lot.
Yes, man.
It's been, well, I guess at this point it's been like almost 2 weeks now, 2 weekends for the Dr. Disrespect drama. So if you already know about this, you're in luck. If you haven't, this isn't fun. Well, how should I describe this? To be clear,
This is your topic.
This is my topic. I don't need to, I don't think that anything you or I will say is worse than anything that Dr. Disrespect said in the next 4 tweets. I really don't think so. I don't think our commentary will breach further because I have found it absolutely fascinating. How this entire thing has unfolded, the response, the cut the bullshit, everything. I've been very excited to see bitches in the transphobic Call of Duty community, like Tim the Tap Man, Nick Merckx,
Tim the
and
Tap Man
whatnot.
Taylor.
Exactly, him, office linebacker. And Taylor, office linebacker. She's all, yeah, you. And anyway, there is people that make a lot of their money off of distinctly being transphobic in particular are now finally having to distance themselves from him, and it's a tough one for the boys to have to accept when one of the boys admits to
Sexting a minor.
Yes, and they admitted to it. Well, let's just see. Look, first of all...
Well, communicating with a minor.
Okay, look. I am Little Disrespect, okay? I am the biggest Dr. Disrespect fan I could think of that I knew on short notice. because I've seen pictures of him before. Guy Beam, Dr. Disrespect, if you don't know what he looks like, you would know what he looks like. That doesn't sound like it makes sense. But he is a character. He streamed on Twitch up until 2020, where he got banned. Very unexpectedly, they broke his contract. It was a whole thing, and nothing ever came out about the ban. This has been one of the greatest Twitch mysteries, like unsolved mysteries. We will never know why the doc got banned until now. Now we know. Now we know for sure. He is he looks like the guy that your mom might leave you with in a young man's fantasy. You know what I mean? Like, this is the guy that bangs your mom when you're 10 and your parents are divorced.
And that's a fantasy?
I don't know, man. I'm trying. I don't. I'm not a straight white boy anymore, so I don't have
that looks
the
like
same
a
frame of
wig.
reference. It is.
Oh, okay, work.
So yeah, so he's playing a character, to be very clear. Guy Beam is the actual guy. He plays Dr. Disrespect. It's all about, we're getting the doves. We're going to go win. Like, it's a fun character. And I will admit that, like, his content can be very entertaining. Like, I wouldn't watch a stream, but I've seen clips and stuff. Only thing that's important to note is, so he got banned in 2020. And for some reason, I believe just before that, or either right after that, one of the two, like, it had come out that, like, he had cheated on his wife, and he came out, like, as Guy Beam and was like, I'm gonna make an apology and, like, working on this. So, like, really shitty that you cheated on your wife, but if you're taking accountability in a public forum and you're kind of owning it and you're gonna work on it, like, okay, you know, you might lose some people because they disrespect that
Doctor.
But overall, you know, we love a king who can change. I don't love this king, to be clear.
I was gonna say, maybe we shouldn't bury the lead on this one.
Yeah, okay, to be very clear, he's a piece of shit. This is going to be to roast him, and I'm being very facetious for comedic effect, because, like, I just have been wanting, like, you ever just look at a man and go, look at this man and see how he mans? And that's what I'm here to talk about today, because this was the biggest news. This was nuts, and how it continued to develop is absolutely insane. Since 2020, he's been streaming on YouTube Gaming, arguably almost as big or bigger than he was on Twitch. I don't really know how the breakdown, but one of the biggest gamers on Twitch, or on YouTube Gaming. He had sponsorships with, like, the 49ers. He had a Midnight Society game studio that he was part of, and he's like 45 or something like that.
One of the
42.
One of the gaming equipment things was with him too.
Oh yeah,
like not
headphones.
not
Oh,
Corsair, but Turtle Beach.
There was some special Turtle Beaches. Yeah, he had, like, this guy. If you didn't know about him, he's very massive in that, like, he had everything kind of going for him in the sense of, like, you know, had his whiskey, his all of this shit. So a tweet comes out by Cody Connors on June 21st. Says he got banned because he got caught sexting a minor in the then existing Twitch Whispers product. He was trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon. The powers that be could read it in plain text. Case closed, gang. So this tweet came out. Jake Sucky out here saying, like, you know, allegedly this is what's happening. Like, it is worth noting Cody Connor's character is worth being questioned, because he has also kind of, like, wanted to use this information to, like, promote his band to come into shows. But as Zed Depani put it, you know, the character of the person leaking the information doesn't really matter when the leak is true.
Yeah, two things can be true at once. A bad person can say something that's reporting on another bad person, and they can both be bad, and the point can still be valid.
Correct. Yay! Where is it?
I am a woman of my own destiny.
I'm so proud of you. Your media literacy is hot. So, Dr. Disrespect.
I learned
Yeah?
from the Arthur cartoon that people will go on the internet and tell lies.
Yes, they will.
According to Bugsy. Is that his name?
Who would go on the internet and just tell lies?
Is that his name?
Maybe, yeah. He's got, like...
He's the little rabbit.
Oh, Bugsy's the rabbit. I was thinking Bugsy
His
was
name
the bulldog
His name
one.
can't be Bugsy, though, because that would be, like, too much like Bugs
Wilbur?
Bunny.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, that's
What's
funny.
his
I
little
never
name?
noticed.
His little... I don't know. I
Was
barely
it?
know Arthur.
Arthur Carrot.
I watched it a lot when I was a kid. But it bothered me that that some of them looked so much like their real animal, and then some of them looked absolutely nothing like what the animal they were alleged to be portraying.
G.W. Reed, Francie, Muffy, Binky Barnes.
No, Binky's the asshole.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of. You're thinking of Buster Baxter.
Buster, there we go. Not Bugsy. Buster.
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 Buster Baxter. Buster Sales. Okay, so
Not Bing.
no,
Not you searching on Bing.
Well, we're using Edge, so I didn't have time to download Chrome, or I didn't think about it. We're gonna Bing it.
Google.com.
So this thing got announced, right? And no one's talked about it. Apparently, 4 months or so after he got banned, it was like he had heard how he got banned, and we never thought we'd hear about it.
Mm-hmm.
So he decides to go, Jake, seriously, I get it. It's a hot topic, but this has been settled. No wrongdoing was acknowledged, and they paid out the whole contract. So this is where it gets really fun. So why the fuck would you write it like that? What are your thoughts? I'm just reading like this is an allegation. If it wasn't serious, you wouldn't.
I think his thought was that, like, if I had done something like so horrible, they wouldn't have paid. So that's like his, like, you know, his justification is, it's like, how bad could it be? Twitch was still willing to pay me the whole thing.
Right. Exactly. Like, it's settled. No wrongdoing was acknowledged, which. So no party admitted wrongdoing is what you're saying. Like, or like,
I don't.
The legalese is very important.
I don't want to give this person any, like, leeway, but like, I think
I am fine with giving them ironic leeway per tweet.
I think what he was attempting to get at, we could say, is that, like, no wrong, like, acknowledged was clearly not the right word, but like that Twitch never said any wrongdoing happened.
Right. Which all of this is like, so to be clear, I am not on his side by any means, but to give you all like a fun and relatively, I mean, a bashing experience, but like fake benefit of the doubt, because like you wouldn't just, you know, if it wasn't true, like if you didn't sext a minor, you could just say you didn't sext. Like the easiest defense is saying no, you didn't. But
right.
If you did, then you have to get into legalese.
Yeah.
So as I'm sure you can imagine, everybody said, what in the absolute fuck? Top comment right here. No wrongdoing was acknowledged. The motherfucker did that shit. And this was on the 21st. Because again, with legalese kids, or well, folks, I should say. Kids shouldn't be watching this. With legalese, like, you only speak in legalese if you have to. And, like, granted, there were some, like, legal, like, you know, obviously NDAs or something that you couldn't talk about. But
I mean, if you have a lawyer, they probably would tell you to say, you know,
something like this.
Something. Oh, well, I mean, I would hope a lawyer would tell you to say something a little more professional than...
It's been settled.
It's a hot topic, but this has been settled.
It's been settled. No wrongdoing was acknowledged. They paid out the whole contract. Like, we're good. What? Excuse me? And that's the point. So the reason why this also blew up so much is that, wait, you would think that if you were going to play like, you would do more than this. You wouldn't see how hollow this is unless it was really that flimsy to get with. Yeah. So, yeah. Ooh, Travel Danielle. That's cool. That's Dado's girlfriend.
Dado's wife.
Or Dado's wife. Congrats.
Put some respect on it. Thank you.
Good job, Dado. Cleared out that vault to make space for that ring. No wrongdoing occurred. Exactly. So, basically, this was not a good look for him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. So everybody starts talking about this because what the absolute fuck kind of response is that?
Yeah.
So the next morning, because like now like a bunch of drama, like, you know, it's the word through the grapevine and everyone's criticizing him. People are also jumping to using certain words, which without evidence, be careful about the words that we use. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Blah, blah, blah. Listen, I'm obviously tied to legal obligations from the settlement with Twitch, but I just need to say what I can since this is the fucking internet. I didn't do anything wrong. All this has been probed and settled. Nothing illegal. No wrongdoing was found, and I was paid. Elden Ring Monday.
Tree.
The Elden Ring Monday.
Elden Ring Monday, really.
Elden Ring Monday, baby.
Seals it up.
I kind of want to make sure that I write that down so we make that the title of Elden Ring Monday. Because, like, I don't know. It's just the sheer audacity of, like, there's some stuff. Keemstar. Do you know who Keemstar is?
Yes,
unfortunately,
unfortunately.
Yeah. And those of you who know, and your eyes rolled into the back of your head, piece of shit, drama person. That being said, is involved in everything, but is also a gigantic piece of shit. To be clear, why don't you say what? My point exactly. Actually, that I don't even need to say it. You guys can see it. Why not? You could just say you didn't do it. And the other part of it, of the allegation, was that he was also trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon. So obviously, folks, don't take your notes from Dr. Disrespect. This is fucking terrible. I love the, like, this is the fucking internet, because he's that, like, you know, let's cut the bullshit, bro. Like, brass tacks. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. I don't think that's for you to decide. All of this has been probed and settled, which means an investigation was done internally, and they decided nothing. That's not necessarily true. Twitch did what they were supposed to do, which is report it to something, and then if that doesn't go anywhere, that doesn't go anywhere. But, like, it's a thing. Nothing illegal, no wrongdoing was found, and, like, reiterating that he was paid as if, like, they wouldn't settle to, like, not have all of this come out. That, like, you know. Yeah. Because Twitch Whispers is not just Twitch Whispers, like, in, like, when you're on Twitch, you can whisper to people. It was, like, an actual, like, app. It was his own thing. And so, you know, Twitch is just allowing these conversations. It's not a good look for everybody.
Yeah. I was going to say, Twitch doesn't look great in this either. No.
Like, this is bad all around. Especially since Twitch essentially covered this up, more or less. So it's very not good.
And paid him.
Well, like, a big thing back in 2020, like, there's a big streamer, Shroud, who talked about how he ghosted him back in 2020, because, like, you don't just get dropped from Twitch when you're one of the biggest creators, like, even though it's all, like, quiet, and, like, you had to have fucked up. You had to have done something bad. So people have already been distancing themselves from him over time. And up until, you know, Elden Ring Monday. It's going to be great.
Elden Ring Monday?
I don't think we play Elden Ring on Monday. I don't remember. June 22nd is, what day of the week is that? That is, so this was 2 Saturdays ago. So then we fast forward to Monday. It's Elden Ring Monday. Midnight Society, which is the game company that Dr. Disrespect Guy Beam founded, puts out this tweet.
That was making a game, like, about him, wasn't it?
Maybe. I don't know.
I think so.
Interesting.
What
Paul
tangential
Tossi,
information I have about this came from an article by Paul
Rumor
Tossi. Friend of the channel.
That's no good. I'm excited to see what parts like how much we included.
Yeah.
So a fun thing to note is that Dr. Disrespect is live when this tweet comes out, and there's about like 9 minutes left in his stream. And if like I would play it if we were doing a live stream, because like we could like skip through the different parts of like where you can see him check his phone. But this tweet comes out. On Friday evening, we became aware of an allegation against one of our co-founders, Guy Beam, also known as Dr. Disrespect. We assumed his innocence and began speaking with parties involved. And in order to maintain our principles and standards as a studio and individuals, we needed to act. For this reason, we are terminating our relationship with Guy Beam immediately. While these facts are difficult to hear and even more difficult to accept, it is our duty to act with dignity, blah, 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 for the players. It doesn't matter. Very important thing to note here, we'll come back to it, is we are terminating our relationship with Guy Beam immediately. So he reads this tweet. Now, if you go and you watch like his last VOD, in the last 10 minutes, he sees this tweet and then he starts talking about, like, he had already, before on Saturday when stuff was coming up, he had mentioned that like he's already planned a vacation with his wife and kids, so he's going to be taking an extended vacation. And before, like, this has come out. So this tweet, the other tweet, and then this thing. And he's like, yeah, I don't know, guys, maybe it's time to hang it up. Maybe it's time to try some new creative passions. Like, maybe it is time for us to ride off into the sunset. I don't know. Maybe, you know, wild. I went through and I was watching his live chat to it, and they're all just like, we support you, Doc. We love you, Doc. And people are like, what's up going on with Midnight Society? And, like, just ignored and buried. Oh, okay. Cat.
Cat on high.
Cat on high. High on cat. Hello. I need to move him. Okay. So, obviously, this is not a great look. Not a great look, and he's going to need to make a response. You got to say something.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to respond to allegations, would you do anything stupid in your response? If you had time to plan.
I mean, I have a feeling he did.
Oh, that's okay. You know what? It's okay if you make mistakes, because you can always fix them. That's a surprise treat for later. Hello, and welcome to the Hewll podcast. Hey, sorry, we're a bit late on that one. But that's okay. I didn't say it sooner. I got right into this shit. So, he goes dark. Elden Ring Monday's over. Which is honestly the greatest tragedy. I mean, it is also kind of sad watching it because you do empathize with him of like, wow, this guy's whole career's ending like right now. And you're watching him like mourn it in real time. And then you go, oh, he sexted a minor. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let it burn.
Mm-hmm. The Twitch ban. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. This is... I cannot believe... Like, I'm electrified right now. I am ecstatic. Ooh. Just a moment.
Okay, we're back.
Oh, period. Poo, honey.
Oop.
Mm-hmm. O-O-P. So... that part. Mm-hmm. Right. Perfect. So, hi, everybody. We're back. Right at the juiciest part, the Twitch ban. So, finally, Dr. Disrespect, 2 days later, makes his statement. And let me just say, a wild fucking statement. Like, we have everything. Everything you could want in, like, a juicy drama way, you're getting. So, Twitch ban. Hello, and like to make a quick statement. I'll kind of run through this smaller shit. Let's cut the fucking bullshit. As you know, there's no filter with me. I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything that I can be upfront about. And I'm always willing to accept responsibility, which is why I'm here now. I have a thought. I know we're only on the first paragraph, but I do have a thought. People that tend to say, there's no filter with me, I've always been real and upfront, it almost always feels like they're about to not be upfront and real. And no filter means I like to get mad at people who criticize me. Is that being judgmental? Yes. So, with that, otherwise, the only thing I'll give him credit for, because again, reading this line by line of like where I was coming from of like, I don't know you at all, like I don't care. Granted, I know what I know. You were sexting him, like it's already over. I don't like you. It's done.
Yeah.
I have no investment in this, my guy. But just he did take ownership when he cheated on his wife and that whole thing. Mm-hmm. And so like as of right now, this very brief moment in this paragraph, I'm like, okay, like I know I just gave him a bunch of shit for saying there's no filter with me. I'll be real and upfront. It's like he's not going to, but like he did do that once before. Mm-hmm. And he has been legally tied to where he can't, there's enough red tape so that people who are on the fence because they, have other problems are still like, okay, well, understandable. It goes away. All that goodwill's gone. And we don't even have to get that far in. First and foremost, I want to apologize to everyone in my community as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society Game Studio. A lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened yesterday with Midnight Society and I, and we made the painful decision collectively to have me step down. Our team is full of incredibly talented and good people that have high career ambitions and families, and I never want to jeopardize the culture we've carefully crafted. I would like to just real quick, the tweet was, we assumed his innocence began speaking, and then we are terminating our relationship with Guy Beam. Does not really feel like it has the same energy of we made the painful decision collectively. Like, we and... to step... That you didn't get to make a step down post, you found out you got let go. If you were stepping down, you would get to make a step down post. They would have said you stepped down. Yeah. But that's okay. I'm sure that's just, you know what, that's okay. He's not trying to paint anything. Everyone has been wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside of my control, I was not allowed to say anything for the last several years. Now that 2 former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusations, I can now tell you my side of the story regarding the ban. Just as reiteration, the Cody Connors tweet was a former Twitch employee. So, you ready? It's finally time. Did he do it? Did Doc do it? Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes.
Oh, dear God.
Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. Right. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Nothing illegal happened. No pictures were shared. No crimes were committed. I never even met the individual. Oh, honey? So yes, you did.
Right.
Which, hey, cool. I mean, not cool that you did it, but cool
I mean,
that
listen,
you
at least
it.
we get the answer right at the top.
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
I'm like, cool.
But
end of sentence.
But I was just playing around. There was no real intention.
Yeah.
Even though, but I never even
Nothing illegal happened.
A very good point. A little bit of critical analysis here is I never even met the individual is the statement he's saying when like the allegation is that like he was trying to meet up with them.
Right.
Like just because it failed.
He never even got to follow through.
I'm getting in all this trouble and I didn't even get any.
I didn't even get any.
Oh, poor man. Oh.
I didn't even get any pictures. I didn't even get to commit any crimes.
I never even
got to meet the individual.
Real quick. Well, with the individual, but he did say earlier that it was an individual minor back in 2017. Oh, keep a note on that. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch, and that case was resolved by a settlement. Let me be clear, it was not a criminal case against me, and no criminal charges have ever been brought against me.
I mean, in theory, if you are only talking to a minor, I don't think you could be criminally like hit. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, so you got hit in the way that they could for your wildly inappropriate actions.
Correct. Like, you know what? It's almost
an activity doesn't have to be criminal for it to be wrong.
Oh, well, here, let's get his viewpoint on the moral standpoint. Because, like, you remember, this was his response to all of this. Mutual conversations lean too much in the direction of inappropriate. Which, what the fuck does that mean?
It just leaned. Leaned a little.
It was a little inappropriate, and they were minor.
It brushed shoulders
but I'm sure
with the idea of an inappropriate conversation.
Which, I would like to be clear. If you're talking to somebody on the internet, and you don't know them, and you get a little flirty, and then they go, oh, I'm 17, or any age that's younger than 18, you are then supposed to go, oh, no thank you. And you stop, because guess what? You've done nothing wrong at that point. It's when you are now aware of it and continue to engage in that behavior.
What the fuck are you doing?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck? From a moral standpoint, I'll absolutely take responsibility. I should have never entertained these conversations to begin with. That's on me. That's on me as an adult, a husband, and a father. It should have never happened. I get it. I'm not perfect, and I'll fucking own my shit. This was stupid.
That's a word for it.
Now, with all this said, don't get it fucking mistaken. So, his moral apology part is like 5 or 6 tiny sentences. Like, like I get it. I'm sorry. Stop. Like, he's mad and he doesn't want to.
Stupid. I made a mistake.
Yeah, you're right. You've said all the things I've said that you did. Now, you could do more, but why would you? You're trying to look good, baby girl. It's okay. Now, with all this said, being thrown around so loosely, social media is a destruction zone. I'm no fucking predator or PDF file or pedophile, whichever. We're not monetized. It doesn't matter. YouTube can't take it away.
We technically are monetized, but we never monetize the videos.
That's a good distinction. So, yeah. I guess, I don't know. People get really weird about words. And like, it's ad. Can't say unalivened.
Yeah, it's ad revenue.
Yeah, ad revenue. Are you fucking kidding me? Anyone that truly knows me fucking knows where I stand on those things with those types of people. Fuck that. That's a different level of disgust that I fucking hate even hearing about. Don't be labeling me as the worst of the worst with your exaggerations. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. I would like to restate, were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor in 2017?
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes. The answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
You have been stopped.
Like, my guy, like, I would like not to give him any credit here, but this is kind of why I made the point of, like, when people start throwing out, like, call it, like, terms like predator, fine. Pedophile, there's a preconceived notion with a lot of those words where it's like, let the courts decide or whatnot. I mean, or as more information gets released and whatnot. But he also never addresses the age of the person. It's believed that they were 17. That's from what we understand, which would also explain why there wasn't really any criminal necessarily. Like, it is worth noting that as of today, Dr. Disrespect is 45. And so 7 years ago in 2017, he would have been 35 years old messaging a 17-year-old minor.
7 years ago, he would have been 38.
38?
Did you just say he was 45?
Oh, sorry, he's 42.
Oh.
My bad.
Okay.
42, yeah.
Okay. Then, yeah, he would be 35.
Sorry, Buster Baxter.
Buster, I didn't want to drag you into this.
42. He's born on Mario Day. Sad. His name's Herschel Bean. Okay. Herschel. So I can understand where, like, people are reacting right away on Twitter. That being said, though, maybe if you didn't want people to even have the idea that you would be a pedophile, you shouldn't message minors inappropriately.
Yeah. Maybe also just don't message minors at all. That'd be another great idea.
It would. But you want to know where I think he stands on it?
What?
Were there Twitch Whisper messages with an individual minor back in
is yes.
2017? The answer is yes. Well, we're reading the third version of this tweet, just so you know.
Uh-huh.
I guess in a way, we're also reading the first version of this tweet. We'll get back to that. So get the fuck out of here with that shit. I'm not going to lie. For someone who just admitted to messaging a minor, like, all of this just feels like really big projection. How could I be someone who talks to kids? Like, you guys know how much I hate that shit. You guys know I would never do that. But you just...
You just said you did.
It doesn't track. It just feels like massive projection. It feels like a story as old as time of, like, I never thought they'd come for me, but it's like the people who are perpetrating the shit, you know, blah, 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 blah. But I think I've said what I needed to say regarding the ban itself. That's it. That's why Twitch made the decision in 2020. Okay. To my team, everyone, I apologize. I wish I could have said this. You guys show me and my family love and support throughout all these years, and we love you guys like you can't imagine. I have the best fucking community and circle. If any of this has made you uncomfortable, I get it. You don't have to support me anymore, but just know you have always been greatly appreciated. Like, I don't know. I guess, like, if your career's tanking, you got to do what you can. Like, some people won't be bothered by this. I think that's weird, but, you know, But trust me when I say this, to all my haters that live and breathe social media with zero real life experience, I don't give a fuck about you.
He forgot the E on the end of breathe.
Yeah, breath.
That's breath.
Yeah. You know what's funny? He edited this tweet twice, so, like, he could have
fixed that.
But we'll get to what he fixed. What do you think he fixed? Do you know what he fixed?
I don't.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
Oh, didn't he like he?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I remember from Paul's article.
Yeah, it truly is the cherry on top. Finally, if you're uncomfortable with this entire statement and think I'm a piece of shit, that's fine. But I'm not fucking going anywhere. I'm not the same guy that made this mistake all those years ago. I'm taking an extended vacation with my family, as mentioned on stream, and I'm coming back with a heavy weight off my shoulders. They want me to disappear? Yeah, fucking right. Does this feel like Mean Girl almost energy kind of at the end of, like, I don't care that I did some evil shit. Like, I'm going to be back.
This is a new chapter from me. I'm closing the book on this.
I don't know why you guys won't turn the page.
You can keep bringing this, but just know you're talking to a wall. Because I'm on my new chapter, honey.
You didn't write a conclusion to the last chapter,
but
honey.
It's over. I closed that book.
It's over, baby.
We closed that book.
It's.
I'm on my new book.
It's done. It's over. It's roasted. You and Drake would get along well. He also supported Drake in the Kendrick v. Drake beef, blah blah blah, which was very good. I don't know if you watched any of it.
Mm-mm.
Not Like Us is an absolute banger.
Yeah, I don't keep up with much. But Paul talked about this, so I did know a little bit.
I gotta keep an eye on Paul. I can talk to you about Paul.
If Paul writes an article about Drake and Kendrick, then I might know.
I don't want to say that I'm a bit of a Forbes fanatic, but I am no stranger to Paul Tossi's domain.
No.
So, not oomph. So many words just to say you were texting a minor inappropriately. Yeah, so all of this to say, this has not been a good look. He's done. Like, 49ers dropped him. Turtle Beach, like, you're losing sponsors because, like, you admitted it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that would be the end of the story. He's going to go on vacation and be done with it. But I mentioned that he ended it. It's over.
It's over for him.
New chapter time. Take a break. Come back strong as ever. Like I said, watching that last stream of his, this was before he made the statement, definitely gave off vibes like, oh, I don't know if it's going to happen. Like, I think he knew his goose was cooked, but would like to believe that, like, maybe it won't. It's not that big of a deal. Because, like, the people who are going to stay, I don't know if that's...
Yeah.
The Venn diagram here is not great.
Yeah.
Well, last edited, 11/23, June 25th.
Mm-hmm.
That's really interesting. So there's two different versions of this statement. I'll go back to the first one. The first one is, from what I gather, pretty much identical to what we just read. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it in terms of, like, differences.
Mm-hmm.
The second edit, he posted this first tweet at 11 a.m. our time.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new version of this post. Okay, blah, 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 blah. I want to see the second one. So at 11, he goes and makes this edit at 11:01 a.m. So he posts it, and it's like in the first minute or so, and decides to, like, edit it and resubmit it. And there's one single difference in this article.
One big juicy word.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's been wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside of my control, I was not allowed to say anything for the last several years. Now that 2 blah, blah, blah. Were there Twitch whispers with an individual back in 2017? Yeah, the answer is yes. Were there... I find it fascinating that everybody saw him try to get an edit in where he edited out the word minor. Which is the whole... Like, if you were just messaging an individual and getting, like, hot and heavy in the Twitch whispers, like, I don't really see how that would result in a settlement unless it was, like, actual harassment. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't sound like that's what it was. It sounded like it was maybe a little too inappropriate. It leaned that way once or twice. But the sheer fucking gall and audacity for him to try to, like, get it out so that, like, oh, you're circulating a version of the tweet that doesn't exist, but, like... It keeps the archive versions of your edits.
Right.
So, like, the edit gave him away, essentially. And, like, that is the true final nail in the coffin of, like, bro, you edited the word minor out of your post and then edited it back in. Like, you did it. Yeah. And I just, it's been terrible. Like, it's an absolute shit show. Like, it's like watching a car crash.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, oh man, because fuck him, fuck people, like,
yeah,
fuck this guy, fuck him for doing that. Like, I'm sorry he got caught, but he's cheating on his wife once and messaging it, like, on an off-platform thing, like, dude in this power, like, I don't know if there was more than one, but it doesn't matter. One happened, and he admitted to that.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough.
Yeah, that ain't it.
That's no dub. That's a loser, no chicken dinner. No. So. Anyway, that's what fun things I've been following this weekend, or this last week, following all of that drama and juiciness, because I just want some catharsis. It was a nice way to end Pride Month, kind of, you know? Just a little bit.
I went to Little Caesars.
Oh, tell me about it. Not as cool as Billy Baxter.
And they... have a new product there.
Oh?
Called a pepperoni crazy puff. Because they like to call everything crazy.
Well, yeah, they're wild.
Because they got crazy bread. It's a little crazy
I
bread.
feel like Hungry Howie's is upset about it.
I think Hungry Howie's has bigger fish to fry. Like, are they still around?
I don't know.
I think Hungry Howie's might be over.
I'll find out.
But yeah, so I tried the pepperoni crazy. Oh, it is still around.
Oh wow. Yeah.
It's the 11th largest pizza chain in the United States. I said,
wow.
bitch, where?
According to HungryHowies.com.
Oh, there are some.
Yeah, there's 3.
Oh, yeah.
3 in Phoenix. Which makes... Because I remember, like, I think there's probably one closer to Tempe, too.
Mm-hmm.
They're cheap, and their whole thing is they do crazy crusts. Like...
But they're... Okay. So, I just need to...
Flavor crust.
People need to know. A now closed Hungry Howie's Pizza
in
Ohio.
Oh, no.
So, first and foremost...
Foremost and firstly.
I think Little Caesars is great. And I think it gets a bad rap. And I think that people are going in with the wrong mindset. I think people are going in to Little Caesars and they're getting the $5 pizza. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, this pizza isn't good.
Well, yeah.
And to that I say, you just paid $5 for a large pizza. It's like, I worked at H&M for a time in my life.
Him.
You understand?
I am.
And people would come into the H&M, and H&M has some nice stuff, and it costs more. Or you can walk over to our basics department, and you can get a T-shirt for $4. And then you wash it 3 times, and it comes apart. And I'm like...
But
it was
baby.
fast fashion $4.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of like if you want the better thing, it's probably not, unfortunately, it's probably not going to be
the
cheaper thing.
Personally, I just bought stuff at Walmart. It was like Steve Madden stuff that was like, or Madden NYC that was like $2 for like this thing. I was like, oh, cool, I'll try it out. Spilt soda on it immediately. It's white. It's still stained. And I'm like, it was $2.
Yeah.
And it was more of like a function over,
yeah.
You know, like I was like, oh, cool. Bummed? Yeah. Probably just need to get rid of it because like,
yeah.
But at the same time, it was only $2. I'm not going to be mad.
And I will say, if you want a pizza for like $5 or less, maybe just pop on over to the store and get a Red Baron frozen pizza. Throw a couple extra pepperonis on it, put a little garlic powder on it, pump it up.
Back in the day, we used to go to Big Jimmy's $5 large pizza. Because it was exactly what it was. A good pizza? No.
The we in this, I was not part of it.
You were not, no.
But I would have been.
Me and Brandon. Like,
yeah. Because
it was near our house, and it's like it was very much of like, do you have $5? Do you want a large pizza? You can go get one.
Yeah. Well, so I guess my point is just that, like, I don't think Little Caesars should get shat on for having a cheap pizza that's, like, not that good. When they also have good things.
Yeah, and that cheap pizza is something that like they're having to make as fast as possible, and I've never once seen a Little Caesars not like understaffed and working the hardest.
Exactly. And it's literally is an oven in there for those poor people. It is so hot all the time because the ovens are on all day because it's hot and ready pizza.
We have an oven home.
They're so hot in there. Like when you step into a Little Caesars pizza, it just punches you in the face with the heat.
It's very warm.
I could not work in such an establishment, and I have nothing but respect for those who do. As a sweaty, I could not do that. Gordon Ramsay would have to come in and be like, "You're sweating in the food," and I'd be like, "I literally can't not sweat." So I could not work in a place like that.
Very similar energy to the gas station near the McDonald's. How they use that cleaner. Any place that uses a cleaner like that, I'm like, I would kill myself if I lived here.
This.
Like if I worked here, like how can you smell this and not think it feels and smells atrocious? And it's like, that's what we used to clean. Why?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Like
not to distract, but
yeah. So anyway, all of that to say, Little Caesars,
Laramie ain't that kind of school.
They got some great fucking shit on the menu.
Oh, the Batman pizza kind of fucked.
It kind of fucked, and like. Their deep dish pizza, I'll swear by it till the day I die. It's good. And if other people don't like it, that's okay. No one has to like it. But I fucking love it. It's so good. And their Italian cheese bread is the best thing I've ever tasted. And now these little pepperoni crazy puffs, they're so good.
Really?
Yeah, they're like I imagine it's like a muffin tin.
Like a muffin tin.
And they make basically like the deep dish pizza, but little, and then they put pepperonis and mozzarella and some marinara.
Mozzarella.
And then they put the cheese on top. And then they put the Italian cheesy bread seasoning on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing's ever been better.
It's everything you want. It's everything you need.
Little Caesars is also absolutely one of those things where it's like when you go and there they are.
Pepsi pineapple.
That's disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
But the Crazy
Crazy
Puffs bend me over. That's so fucking good. I can't even look at that. I'm so hungry. I can't look at that. What are you doing?
I wanted to I didn't want to start the order. I wanted to click on it, but it's like, hey, buy things.
They want you to buy it.
Yeah.
They don't have further details.
No, they're just puffs.
It's just Crazy Puffs.
Okay. So they're like a little pizza cupcake kind of thing. Right?
It's so good. It's so I can't.
Would you rather have 4 of those? They're handheld.
Mm-hmm.
Like 4 of those than one $5 pizza?
Absolutely.
Quality wise?
Yes. Because again, I'm not the apologist for Little Caesars. I really do think that their $5 pizza is not very good.
Biggest Little Caesars shill
I don't enjoy it. If someone asked me would you rather have this pizza or not, on many days I would say actually I'm good. I really don't care for their base level pizza, but their deep dish is amazing and the Crazy Puffs are so fucking good. And if you go to Little Caesars too often, you get burned out and it loses the magic.
Right.
But as a person who hadn't had Little Caesars in quite a while, when I went into that Little Caesars and I opened up their little automatic machine thingy,
I have an idea.
And I took out my Little Caesars products and I pushed close compartment and I stood there and I watched it close because it asks you to, and so I watched and it closed. I took my Little Caesars and I stepped out into the hot Arizona sun.
Was it cool?
It felt cooler than in that Little Caesars. God love those people. They deserve a raise. And then a raised pizza. And then we went, and not we, me. I'm a woman.
They. I am a woman.
I am a woman of my own destiny.
I moved in, I walked it over to my truck, and I opened that door, and I plopped that stuff down. And I closed that door. When I closed that door and I locked myself in that small, enclosed, honestly still slightly hot space with all of that Little Caesars goodness and the smell
wafts
of the Italian seasoning.
Did you feel like little Giuseppe in the boot of Sicily?
I felt
on the island of Sicily, you're plucking marinara straight from the vine.
Liquid marinara, plucking it from the vine.
Listen, young Giuseppe. It's liquid gold, our marinara. Or our mozzarella. All Italian food grows on a vine. You can't change my mind.
It got me right, and then it got me wrong. But it was just so good. I'm not sponsored by Little Caesars, but if you enjoy pizza adjacent things, perhaps try the Crazy Puff.
You got me thinking about Crazy Puffs. NGL.
Because it was so fucking good.
Oh. She's calling me. I will get back to her.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And so that's my fun topic. Oh.
Ooh.
We gone.
Hell yeah, we are. But it is only for a very specific reason.
Okay.
And then I just move my hand. So then we can... It does the same thing. You know what? We have...
I mean, if you make it bigger...
Yeah, but I think that would prevent us from... Yeah, you see? Whatever. Okay. It was the thought. For now. But
yeah, Little Caesars.
Yeah. Actually, you know what would probably fix a little bit of that is if we did a ticker at the bottom or something that framed it. It was Hell yeah, podcast or whatever, and then we were up a little bit. I don't know, whatever. Little Caesars pizza, I could only imagine what it must have been like walking around the edge of that truck knowing as your hand grasps the handle, the 106, 107, 108 degree heat, like baking down on you, basking you
Cooking
in
me
that
like that
light.
pizza.
Exactly. As you're about to like open your door, you let it sit for just a moment to let that hot box happen.
It needs
and
to
go
settle.
down. Exactly. Opening it up and just feeling like you're home.
I do not live near a Little Caesars.
Correct.
It was a bit of an odyssey to get to that Little Caesars.
Yeah, you probably have to go.
And it was worth it.
That's a bit of a trip for just that. But at the same time,
But
it's
it
good.
was worth it.
Of course.
It was worth
Why
it.
would you ever doubt?
I
Never.
didn't. I knew.
How could you?
I knew
I've always
that the
known.
Little Caesars was going to get me right.
Little Caesars done fuck it up,
It fucked me up.
as it should.
Yeah. It was
I-
good. Crazy Puffs.
Have you had Crazy Puffs multiple times in a row?
No.
That's why.
Well, I tried it for the first time yesterday.
Oh, so that means you are getting Crazy Puffs today.
I don't know about all that.
Are you thinking about it?
I mean, if we got Crazy Puffs, I wouldn't say no. But I wouldn't just get myself more
Well, how
Crazy
could
Puffs.
you? Because they don't taste good. Because sorry, it's
Were you not listening to
no,
my
it's the
mistake?
Little Caesars conundrum.
True.
The Little Caesars corollary.
Well, you could do it 2 days in a row, but
3 days is tough.
3 days would be way too tough. And
If you do it 2 days in a row, then you have to take like a week off.
yeah, which is easy because I don't live near one.
Yeah,
I live very far away.
but that third day is the hardest.
You want them to look soft and natural.
The puffs.
Right.
No.
No. No, they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fun. I haven't had them yet. Now I really want to try them. They sound fucking good.
They're great.
They're delicious. I'm trying to think of what. Yeah, nothing really been new. Exciting fun thing is, so now that we're like in July, anything that like
The month of our births.
truly, it's the hype birthday month.
Ooh.
Ooh, join us for our birthday party.
Birthday.
That would be fun. We should do something like a fun live stream or something.
Birthday,
do-
birthday.
Yeah, we still gotta do Princess Peach too.
Oh, yeah. Did that come out?
I think so.
Oh.
We gotta put together like a list of like what are these
All
things
the games that we say we're going to do?
Yeah, just so that we can eventually at least they're in one place in a list.
Well, it's their fault for making so many games, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
And then the games they just keep coming out.
Unironically,
The
yes.
game's got to stop.
There's no break. Like
Why are there so many games?
there's so fucking many. I was like, oh, I'm like, fuck yeah, Hades 2 came out. Let's go. And then it's like, oh, this game came out. I'm like, oh, okay, but
Too
I
many
can't.
games.
But I want to play this one. It's like, but you also want to play that one. DLC came out. Elden Ring Monday.
I am one of the fallen. Because yesterday, well, no, 2 days ago. Sunday? Yes. Sunday fun day. 3 days ago? However many days ago. I'm not proud of it, but I got recommended a video, and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." You know when you just like run out of shit, when you're just like, "I need something.
Yes.
I need a video," and then this video that had been haunting me, I was like, "Fine, I'll click it."
It's been in your subscriptions or like in your recommended feed. And
Yes.
You're like, I don't want.
And
yes.
YouTube won't let me go.
Yes.
So I'm like, fine. So I watched it, and it was a Skyrim lore video, and it made me be like, I could play Skyrim again. I've never finished Skyrim. I've never even come close to finishing Skyrim.
Really?
Yeah, I've played it hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and I never even came close to finishing it because I was like, I don't like that quest. I'm doing everything else. I don't want to do that.
I don't
quest.
want to climb up those stupid fucking steps.
I was like, I don't
want to fight that fucking ice troll. I don't care. I'm going to Riften and I'm doing thief shit.
I don't want to go to High Hrothgar. I want to go to Solstheim or whatever.
I've never played any of the DLCs for Skyrim, and that is something I do want to do.
Yeah. And I was like, and I know like there's like DLCs and stuff where you can like become a vampire. I've never done any of that. I've never even gotten gay married in the game.
Just
I didn't get straight married either because
You just had Lydia.
I didn't even have her.
Oh,
I got Jizargo.
Oh, because Jizz was in the name.
No, I don't remember why I got him.
Mm.
I booted up my save, and the last time I had played was 2018.
You probably went out of your way to go, where's a male companion, and then you went and found him. Maybe?
No, I think I got him specifically because he was a mage.
Oh,
He's a Khajiit mage.
Oh, they do different shit.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
Yeah.
I played Skyrim in college.
Well, that was the thing. I was like, oh, I also did. And then, like, that was on, like, the 360. And then I bought it on the Xbox One.
I have it on PlayStation. I have it, yeah.
And then I played it in apparently 2018. And I was like, oh, that was kind of a while ago. And then I went, oh, that was 6 years ago. And I had a little mental breakdown.
That's okay.
Had to go grab some Little Caesars. No. Different timing.
Nothing a pizza puff won't fix.
You understand. A pizza puff will remind me that, like, sometimes it can still be 2012.
Girl, look, I went from being the pizza boy to the pizza puff.
You understand? Crazy puff. Pepperoni
you want
crazy
my
puff.
meat and want to lick that cheese in between?
I don't want to. No. No.
I'm sorry.
No.
Hey, Stinky!
No.
It's a total fabrication.
Want to lick that cheese? No, I'm sorry. I was really good today for not making too many nasty ones. That was like the first real big nasty one. I'm sorry about that, Chad. I've been trying to improve. Chad is a new term. Did you know kids use Chad?
I know. It makes
That's
me.
cool.
It makes me want to
I love it, gamers.
age.
One day at a time.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh yeah, I'll play some Skyrim, and I went in there and I was like, oh yeah, I made like this like overpowered magic build.
Fun.
And then I played a little Skyrim, and I went, this is Skyrim. And I said, Todd Howard, you did that?
Was what happened was you had to go to Bleak Falls Barrow, and you said, oh God, not again. I'm tired.
No, I was just like, okay, I'm in it to win it. I'm hot like a cougar. I'm sitting here. I got flames in my left hand, ignite in my right.
Here I am.
Stuck in the wearing a Daedric Prince mask face with you.
Hey, Stinky!
Hey, Stinky. And I had 2 followers because I did the thing where you get the Rakeling
You haven't
warrior.
promoted yourself on other social media
And
platforms yet.
I had Jizargo.
Oh.
So I have 2. And unfortunately, they can occasionally damage each other. And then they start fighting. I have to be like, babes,
Stop.
we
Yeah.
have to stop this. We can't be fighting like this.
Fuck, now I want to play Skyrim.
Yeah, it's tough. And then I played it for about an hour and went, that was Skyrim.
Yeah.
And I turned it off.
Yeah.
I love Skyrim in the way that I love Star Wars, where it's like, you like Skyrim, right? And I go, yes, of course.
Of course.
And they go, you've played a lot of it. I'm like, yes, of course. I'm like, would you like to play? I'm like, for 5 minutes. And I boot it up and I go, that's Skyrim.
You know what I want? I want to play Skyrim, but like, I want to play one of my characters from my Xbox, and I want it to be like in the middle of when she was doing shit. Like, I don't want like it's why restarting BG3 has been hard, because like I'm tired of Act 1. Like,
Yeah.
it's the same thing, and like you can speedrun it, but if you're by yourself trying to push through it, it's just boring.
Yeah.
But not because the game's bad, but because you're trying to get to the fun stuff. So, kind of like same vibe. Although, I did make a dragon puncher once, which was fun. Punch all that heavy.
Don't you just want to be a stealth archer? I've
Yeah.
never done that.
Really?
Yeah, I've never done any archery. I don't like archery in games.
Skyrim's like one
Except
of the few
Destiny.
games. Really?
Love
Yeah,
using
you're a big
Last
bow
Wish.
user.
Love Last Wish.
10:30. I gotta do my report.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So we might take a break here, but we can finish his thought first, and then we'll hit him with the last closing segment.
I don't do archery. In RuneScape, never level ranged. Hate
Are
it.
you a range peer? No, for quests.
I leveled it for quests. I'm like level 50 because of quests, but only because of quests. I don't like it. I don't like the armor. I don't like
Yeah.
the hide armors. I was always like, I either want to be the biggest, chunkiest, or I want to be Lemage.
You understand.
Yeah.
There's
and I
two-
always wanted to be Lemage.
There's 2 wolves in us, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which is not enough to contain the deer population.
No, I saw that. Yeah,
that was a good one, Josh. Big ups for Josh on
Big
that
ups.
one. Big ups, loved that one.
Big ups.
That
for
one was a
Josh.
big hit.
Josh was really doing some bangers lately.
It was a hit with the family. I showed it to my family.
Yeah.
I did an escape room.
I saw.
It was fun. I had a good time.
Thanks.
I had a good
Did
time.
I get you a bit when I had texted you?
No.
Where I was like, "Congrats."
No.
Oh, you just didn't care.
Well,
Yeah.
whenever you say something like that, my brain goes, "Oh, it's Facebook."
Yeah.
Like it's happened enough times now that I'm like, "Oh, my mother posted something on Facebook."
Which, like, your mom's Facebook's one of my favorites. Like, she'll post a picture of a sunset. It's just, look at this beautiful sunset today. And I'm like,
She texts me that all the time, and I'm like, "You're right, it is beautiful."
you know, I give your mom credit. She stops and takes time to appreciate those things. And
She
I think
does.
that's great. Your dad?
She
was
cuts
sweet.
the tops off of trees so that she can get a better view of the sunset, and that's not a joke. I should say she makes my father cut the top.
She
off
doesn't
of a
include
tree.
that in her posts.
Well, that's no one's business. But I'll tell the tea. She makes my father
Yeah.
climb up there and cut the top off of a Palo Verde so that she can get a better view of the sunset. And she's real for that.
They're her trees. She grew them.
They are her trees, and she waters them. And if she wants to cut the top off, that's her business.
They're on her line.
If she wants to make my father cut the top off, that's her business.
Just the tip.
Because you know what?
I am a woman of my own destiny.
She is a woman of
Her
own
as your
destiny.
dad is cutting off the tops of the Palo Verde trees.
She stands at the she stands at the banister. There isn't one. It's a one-story house, but she stands at the banister that she had installed by my father.
And she goes, "Father." She refers to him as his title in the home.
Of course.
"Father, begin the cutting." "Rise, my sunset."
And he saws it off, and then she just looks, and she looks out the window.
She goes,
She looks at the sky, and she goes,
You want them to look soft and natural.
"The clouds."
yeah. She takes a big old sip. She goes, "That's a nice cuppa," and then goes back inside like she's done. That was it. That's all she
Because
wanted.
she did what she needed to do.
And your father wouldn't move mountains for her.
He would. He'd cut trees for
He
her.
has, kind of.
He's moved small.
Enough loose rock to count as a mountain.
Listen, as a person who was raised in that home, we all moved enough rock to make a fucking mountain for that woman. I love her.
She's great. She's wonderful. I would do anything for her. She's a nightmare.
She's
She's a bad supervisor.
She supervises. I think I've told the story where, like,
yeah.
I think I've told the story where I remember as a child, as a small
Try for a
child,
while.
we at one point got like you go to Walmart back in the day. Listen up, kiddos. You went to Walmart back in the day, back when they still had layaway, and because, like, you know, we're broke, we don't have the money, but you got to put it on layaway or it'll go away.
Of course, yeah.
So we would go and we would put like one of those like little like stand up outside pools on layaway in like April, because it's like we'll have paid for it by June.
Of course.
And then we can have the pool, and we have like an out.
We can time
we
it right.
have like an outside like pop up stand up little pool. So we
We
like
got one for Tupon, or Tupon has one, but it's very hot outside.
yes.
I'm like,
So-
I think it's too hot for it.
So we finally got it and like had it on layaway, and we had it, and then like my dad was like, okay, well, we gotta like level out like, you know, the ground for it to be on. So we're like shoveling and leveling, and I'm just like a little kid, so I have like little shovel, the little one that's like skinny, that's like really for like doing posts, but like it feels fun because like you're small and you're holding like small shovels. You're like,
to help. It's a shovel for you.
it's like adult shovel, but small adult shovel, and so it's like it feels like a nice it's the Mighty Kids meal.
It's very
of shovels.
Yeah, it's very empowering because
Yeah.
like you're allowed to like participate. fully.
Yeah, because like kids meal shovel would be a plastic child shovel.
Yeah.
This is Mighty Kid
Mighty
meal
Kids
shovel. This is a real shovel, but it's just small. And so like you're shoveling, and my mom is sitting out there, God love her, under the shade of our orange tree, reading a book with a glass of water.
Right.
And I remember I walked over to her and I said, "Mom, why aren't you doing anything?" In that childlike innocence, we're like truly just curious
Yeah, why aren't you doing anything?
of like, "Mom, why aren't you shoveling?" And she just looks at me with equal honesty and almost confusion. It goes, "Because your father's doing it." And I was like,
Your mother.
That's
is
fair.
Right. That is.
and I remember another time I was running, and I said, running around the yard as a child, like one does. And I remember my mom was out there she was like, tending to the plants and such. And I went over to her and I said, "Mom, I've never seen you run." And she said, "I can run." And I said, "But you don't." And she said, "If I have a reason to run, I'll run." And I was like, "You right."
She right.
She's real for that too.
God, like your mom's like, I'm like, first of all, damn, but also, okay, you know what? Fuck, like, you can't hate her.
I love the energy of like, I could, and if I have to, I will. And until that day comes, I'm not fucking running.
She's like, your father's doing it.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like,
and she was doing other things.
She was reading.
She was reading.
She was outside at least. Like,
yeah.
She's part, like, your dad.
She was out there being moral support.
Your dad needs something nice to look at while he's working.
Also, in complete fairness to her, my father, who I also love very much, is such a fucking control freak that if she was trying to help, the whole time he'd just be like, "Ugh."
Your dad would rather do it himself. Like that's almost like you're like, "Mom, what's up?" And she's like, "You don't understand."
You don't understand. And as I got older, I came to understand.
Huh?
My father is an absolute control freak and such a worrier, specifically about my mother, which in fairness, she always hurts herself all the time. So like he has reason to be worried. But yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
I love that.
So I'm like, you know what? Even as a little kid, I was like, this seems to work for you too. So good for you.
Something's up.
Something about this works.
But yeah, someone's winning. Like there's winning going on here, and I like that.
This is working for y'all. And it continues to work for them. He cuts off the top of trees for her.
Oh, it's the forest for the trees. That's not how that saying goes. But, all right. We'll be right back after this brief message. And we're back. And we're back. Hi, hello.
My name is Bev.
Your name back?
My name is Bev.
Bifear.
Bifear.
I still can't believe.
His name is Bifear.
I went like a year thinking that his name was Bifear, which just, I was like, why does he pronounce it like that?
Bifear.
My name is Bifear. Why would, my name is Bifear. Like that's, you were like, Seph, that's a pronoun. Like that's a proper noun.
My name is Bif. Here.
Paul Tassi, friend of the channel.
Friend of the channel. Who doesn't know we exist. And it probably should stay that way.
Do you think if we wrote to him, he would get Streets of New York with us once, if he was in Phoenix?
Maybe if he was in Phoenix.
We can make him a friend of the channel.
We could bring him to Phoenix.
Bring him.
We'll pay for your flight. I don't know where he lives.
I don't know. I don't want your wife to come.
It's not my business to know where he lives.
Not that it's important, but just you. Like, we can't cover your wife, too.
Oh, yeah.
Or that dog.
And the child. The baby.
If you're bringing a baby to Streets of New York, you need to go home.
Who are you?
I know who you are.
I know who you are.
Oh no!
Seph died.
My camera died.
Seph died. We lost Seph.
No. It unplugged and everything. Oh, that might.
Wow, Seph really fell off.
God, I'm so floppy. Oh no.
We're bringing you back.
Take it back now, y'all.
We're getting you back.
Oh man, there's just this part of me that exists. Hi, everybody. Oh.
We're getting you back.
Oh, that did something. 1 sec. Last I checked. Fix that.
My mother.
We were talking about that before with your mom.
Tea.
And then I had a report, so we paused. And then we were talking about something, and then the camera died. Well,
You fell out.
the camera was... That's not the only thing that fell out with me, honey.
Oh.
They said, are you a boy? I said...
That wasn't right.
Oh?
Okay. Maybe we pause again.
It wouldn't be a Hell Yeah podcast episode if we didn't have
Problems.
Do we well, we discover all of our problems at the end of the podcast.
True.
So we can only fix 1 or 2 of them at the beginning of the next one.
You could fix 1 or 2 problems, or just none.
By editing a single tweet.
Oop. Ha! Oop. Cat. Le chat.
This is my son. He's just a cat.
He is cat.
Mm-hmm. But I love him, and He's everything to me. I think Azuki's ace. Not to, like, put labels on my cat like a crazy person. But my cat is ace.
Has he been around cats of any gender?
When he was very small, the original owner had, like, 2 or 3 older cats. But I don't really know... Like, not really. The only other cat that he's been around has been Luna, Sin's mom's cat, when she came to visit, and they did not like each other because, you know, she's showing up to his place.
Right.
And he's like, I need my gun. He knows he's not supposed to sit on the hot, warm computer.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy. Oh, wait, look at him basking in the sun, sniffing.
The overhead lighting, the sun. It's his sun.
The poor amount of light that does come from.
It's his version of the sun.
It's the closest. He's my son.
It's what he has.
He's just. You ever have a little piece of food when he's near you and he's just like, he comes up and like you can see his face and he's like he sniffs with his whole face.
Yeah, he whole face sniffy.
He puts his face right in it. He's like, bread, pizza puffs,
pizza pepperoni, crazy puffs.
It's like a layer. It's like a lasagna cupcake.
It's like a little. It's just good.
It's just good.
It's good crust. Just a small little amount.
Sorry, you have fuzz.
Marinara.
A single teardrop from the Italian goddess Paulatina herself.
A few layers of mozzarella.
Freshly shaven off of the same block that Cleopatra used.
Nary a few pepperonitis.
Cut fresh
Off
from from the packaging that they come in. The pepperonis aren't special.
And then some more mozzarella.
Fresh cut from the vine, sliced.
Low moisture mozzarella. And then some Italian seasonings. And then you just throw that fucker in the oven and it gets a crispy crumb cheese on the very edge. And it's just like, oh. I'd use the sound, but I can't.
That one?
I was going to use the any of the above. Describe how it feels. That's how it feels to chew Crazy Puff.
Gum. Crazy Puff gum?
Pepperoni Crazy Puff
That
gum.
sounds like a new Pride Month merch.
Pride Month is over.
You're right. It's Wrath Month.
Thank you.
You silly Wrathcast.
The heck yes, Wrathcast.
I love the heck yeah. The heck yeah.
Heck yes.
The heck yes podcast. It's Wrath. We're submitting the Wrath of God.
Ooh.
The only belt I fear is the Bible belt.
Oh.
That wasn't great. And you like Zuki. Pit Pat.
Oh, it's the monitor. I was like, what is this?
Oh, T.
Overtime. There you go.
Yay. That makes more sense. I was wondering what that was. But I guess...
Wait.
I replayed The Final Shape a couple times.
Replay.
And I still think that Zavala has a problem and needs to go to therapy.
Yeah.
Because, like, he really was like, I could never embrace the darkness unless I totally forsake my light. Like, I have to be pure. And it's just like, you don't have to live in a guilt cycle, bro.
Zavala's one of those people where he's like, my work is my therapy. And it's like, that's not
Your work
true.
caused your trauma.
Like, that's literally not true. That's not how that works. Therapy is therapy.
Are you a therapist?
Maybe your therapy should be your therapy.
Thank you. You know what? Ikora may not have been like
Ikora Bay.
Ikora Bay wasn't killing people with us, but you know what she was doing? Meditating on Io. And I think that's big.
This is big for Ikora.
She used to go to Venus, but we don't go there anymore because
We
it's
don't do
boring.
that anymore.
Why?
Vex.
Sure.
I love the Destiny was like, we're going to create this like the Vex, this crazy machine race where they're actually tiny little microbes that live in the milk, and they like take like they own the entire universe technically, and they have these crazy prediction engines, and we're like the only thing that's ever been able to like not be predicted, and so like we're great and everything. And they basically were like, we don't know how to write that though. Like, how do you make that a compelling villain? I guess we just won't.
Yeah,
I was like,
I've never felt threatened by a Vex. I'm sorry, the Vex Guardian in Destiny 1.
yeah.
Or the head of a Gate Lord.
Mm-hmm.
That Gate Lord was the only terrifying Vex enemy because it was the first big boy.
You mean you weren't scared of Panoptes? With his little fingies?
I wasn't scared of
And
Panoptes.
his silly little triangle face. I hate that guy.
I didn't
Ooh,
like
hate him.
I think that fight worth mentioning that like very like monotropic kind of like spotlight, so like it takes me a bit to like put it all together.
Mhm.
But that Panoptes fight, if I recall correctly, is like there's two paths
Up
like,
on the outside.
up on the outsides, like you're in this incredibly massive area, and you like traverse for like I don't know, a quarter mile more or less. It feels like of like damage to get all the way up and around, and all the different. The Osiris part was cool. That was sick as fuck. It's a cool, fun fight. But if you actually are looking at the boss, like you're just shooting him until he dies. He doesn't really do anything. He's not.
He does his little hands.
Like a better fight is that one the strike that we were doing, that we were trying to farm, where there's two hydras. Which I don't know if anything. What happens if you nuke the little one?
He just keeps disappearing. Like you
Okay.
can't like fully kill either of them. They like like invincibility and disappear.
I wonder what the like. I wonder if there's any like special interactions. Like, is it easier if you take one out before the other, or?
I don't know, because they start like they both come out together, and then like they each disappear when they get damaged, and then like they like the little one comes out and goes away, and the big one comes out and goes away, and they both come back together. I think.
Yeah, I'm just curious, like lore wise, like why are we fighting two?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's fine. It's not bad. Like that's like those strikes. We got pretty good at it.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the thing that really holds us back is that we're all like in the 70s. We're not at 2000. So
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Makes me want to play. I know we're busy today, so or at least I am. But I'll try to play after I'm done with work stuff because I at least want to see what's new in the Eververse. So, have you played any of Episode Echoes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so have you started to know what's going on with
Mhm.
Saint? My first thought was, please don't bury the gays again. We just got so much
Again.
good gay energy.
Yeah.
But it's really fucking cute. Like I love the idea like where Saint like lives in this fantasy world of like we're gonna like explore the universe together one day, which I'm like,
Mhm.
you better. Gay boys hold hands more, and they did that in a real cutscene that wasn't hidden. They've been pushing the envelope in terms of like directly showing like
I know.
gay, which I would argue that like I'm glad that they're showing two men being more intimate as opposed to like really breaking through with it with like women, because I feel like showcasing gay women is more palatable to like if that makes sense.
Well, they've already done that.
Yeah, well, Anna Bray and
I mean, they've had like there was lots of references to like lesbian relationships, like Maya Sundaresh and Anna and.
but not like in cutscene on screen though, right?
No.
God, well,
Some of them I can't remember.
but wasn't
exactly.
Anna also dating Red? Rasputin.
Big Red's beyond gender.
Yeah, God. Well,
I don't know.
Who cares?
He used he/him pronouns. so
That's
I don't.
Hey, that he they pussy hit different. I'll tell you what.
Oop.
But yeah, no. The point being just that like it's definitely more palatable. I feel like easier to be like, oh, there's two girls there, because then it's
Yes,
like, okay,
gamer bros, straight
Yeah.
gamer bros are more likely to be okay with lesbians.
yeah, they won't be mad that they're lesbians. They'll be mad that like they're making women that don't look like male gays women,
Yeah.
and like fair, they're not. Get over it.
Get the fuck over
But to showcase the Saint and Osiris, like I thought was really cool. Like
Mhm.
they really have like they've always hinted at it. They've started to be, especially this season, like just from the final shape, they were like like they embraced or like they were close. Like it was very direct. And I was like, oh goddamn! Like you're making it very overt. Which
even those little like ink art cutscenes where they kissed.
Yeah,
That was in a prior season. I can't remember which one. Yeah. Which then just got me thinking about like, what's it like to kiss an exo?
Yeah.
Do they have exo tongue?
Weird. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know if they do.
They just have like a light.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm like,
But I think that kind of goes down
where
to
did the
like,
tongue go?
yeah, the intimacy is more of like, those moments, which I think was a really.
I just want to know, where did tongue go?
I don't hole.
Thank you.
Tongue but hole.
Robot hole. Exos better have assholes.
They got robusty.
Because they don't. Well, they could eat.
Exosy.
Cade drank, so they must have pee-pee hole.
Right. They got or at least a port.
But maybe not a peeper. Maybe just
Yeah.
a pee hole.
Well, I think they're like frames, right? And I don't think frames got cocks.
Well, they're more advanced than frames.
Not by much.
Frames don't have a lot of things.
Frames don't have genitals.
Frames don't have face.
Okay, well, first of all, you're
Also,
telling me
Cade-
Warner 44 wasn't serving cunt and look.
Cade also has his little big old bibbies.
True.
He has his male presenting bibbies.
His male presenting bibbies
Yeah.
in this economy.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, if you're willing to give exos certain like secondary sexual characteristics, like ass and tit, why not primary sexual characteristic, like vagebe and peeper?
Show Bob then Vagine,
Yeah.
please. That's all we want.
Show robot donut hole.
Exactly. Let me glaze it.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Another one.
I'm sorry.
can't
I
do
forgot
that.
about it. I forgot it was bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's crazy. If you haven't played it and you don't want spoilers, then don't listen. But I'm curious. I haven't played more than like up to the point where like Saint's like, I'm not the real Saint-14, which I'm like, I don't know how true that is. Is he actually from a different timeline though? Because I don't know if like
Apparently there also aren't other timelines, but then there are because of LC, and like
in my opinion, it's like there's different realities.
Destiny plays it real fast and fucking loose with anything that has to do with Vex stuff. And it's honestly kind of annoying. Like, and I get that like they keep trying to like run home the point. They're like, it's hard to write for the Vex. The Vex are a difficult enemy to write for. I'm like, well, first of all, you made them, so sorry. Then
I also don't
figure out how to write them.
I don't
Also,
think they're that hard.
I don't think it's that hard. Like,
If anything, you could just, spoiler alert, have them splinter, like something happened, like we broke the infinite forest or something, and like now they're desynced.
well, they also
So like now you're fighting different types of Vex because they're different, like from
and they
different
have
times.
like they have that in the lore too. Of it's like literally the lore of this episode is that it's like they are the coral Vex and the normal Vex. It's like, why aren't they fighting? They're apparently fighting even down to like the radiolarial level, but we never see them fighting. I'm like, you couldn't just like show us a couple Vex shooting each other? That would be pretty cool world building to be like, oh my gosh, the Vex are actually like fighting.
turning on each other. Well, who got in control? Well, isn't Asher Mirror in the Vex network? Maybe still.
Apparently.
Allegedly.
My problem with the Vex is that like they can't seem to decide how much power they actually want to give them. Like originally they're like, the Vex travel through time, and then they were like, no, they don't actually. We can't do that because that kind of invalidates the story. So never mind. They don't really go through time. They simulate time. And then it was like, okay, everything's like a simulation. And then they're like, yeah. And imagine like if you were trapped in a simulation and you didn't know how horrible that would be. I'm like, that would be horrible. But that's not what's happening. Like, existential dread doesn't really work in a power fantasy video game where you keep also shoving down our throats that we're paracausal beings that, like, break the rules of everything. Like, the idea of, like, simulation horror, very real, doesn't work in this video game. So, like, to then really weirdly, like, water everything down and be like, everything we do is a simulation, I'm like, then why should I fucking care? They can't simulate us.
Which, like, is the whole... So, like, exactly. Like, I think that the time travel... I don't even think that the time travel thing breaks or invalidates the story. You could literally just say that, like, one, we're paracausal, which means that we already are the MacGuffin. Things shouldn't work the way they're supposed to because we can't be blah, blah, blah. So, like, that's canon of the Guardian. That's how we unmake the witness. Spoiler alerts, because we're, like, if we weren't paracausal, we couldn't. Because
How we survived the Vault of Glass.
Exactly. We made our own...
Like, people... That's That's another thing.
Like, the raids aren't just activities. Like, they are, like, canon events.
They're enrichment activities. In the Vault of Glass, the whole
Enrichment course.
the whole original like selling point of the Vault of Glass was that like because the Vex control time, if you go into the Vault of Glass, they can erase you from every timeline. That was the danger of the Vault of Glass. Like the existential horror danger of being in there was like, if we don't do this right, we will cease
to exist.
Like not just die, we will have never existed.
Like history rewrites itself. Like, you know,
like we never happened.
Yeah.
And it's like, but then apparently this is also not, but then they like rolled that back and they're like, well, we can't give them that much power because it doesn't make sense.
Well, I guess Kaber turns himself into the Aegis, right?
Yeah, but
and
there's
the
also
two are gone.
And there's also versions of him though that aren't, and like we find a version of him. We find his corpse back in that Destiny 1 mission towards the end of things, like April update. It's my problem with the Vex is just that like they're so inconsistently written. It makes it tough. Like,
yeah.
I don't think they're any like more or less scary than like the Cabal. I think the Hive are the scariest, and like they're the most well written.
I guess like if I had to choose who I wanted to fight, like Vex are relatively easy. Like Vex are fun to fight. Like with the fanatics, like it's annoying, but like explosions. There's lots of little things. Like I like they're not Hydras. What are the
Wyverns?
No, they're floating. They're 3 and they spin. They're like
Harpies.
Harpies. Like I like harpies. Like those are very satisfying enemies to kill, as opposed to like Cabal, which suck ass.
Yeah.
Like you could just say that like, look, the Vex do like the reason why the Vex show up when they do is that they've run all their simulations, and they also are still doing it for future stuff, but they're making decisions to send back and like. The thing is that they're like, okay, based on everything we know, this is the best course for us to do. They just never can account for us. And so it's kind of like, well, how come they don't just send more stuff back in time? It's like, we live in a timeline where they already sent stuff back. Like, you could just establish that, and it's like, we're dealing with the consequences of actions that they never thought to plan ahead of for. They couldn't plan for us. And so, like, is that a great explanation? No, I'm not a writer. But it's better than what they have. So
well, and they also like
you keep that you don't have to like maintain that lore either.
Yeah, well, and if I'm remembering correctly, and I with a big grain of salt, I might not be, but I think part of the thing of why like the Vault of Glass in particular in the beginning in vanilla was so dangerous was because that the idea was that like I feel like they already put a good limiter on it where they were like the Vex can control time in this specific place. The Vault of Glass is like a construct that they've made where within its walls they can control time.
Yeah, they figured it out.
And like because of like all of their infrastructure, whatever, like here in this one spot they can control time. So it's dangerous if we go in there. Like that works, I think. It's like, yeah, they can like bend time but within very tight constraints. And then they like made that weird though, and then all of a sudden they were like, well, also on Mercury there's like past Vex that can show up, and then future Vex. Like all of the like future and past incursions back on Mercury and Curse of Osiris was so weird to me.
Yeah.
Was so confusing to me because I'm like, they were equal parts being like everything's a simulation, and then I'm like, you're putting future and past Vex outside of the Infinite Forest in the very first campaign mission though. So it's like, which one is it? You're saying they can only simulate stuff in the Infinite Forest, and then in the first mission you make us fight past and future Vex. It's like, so which one is it?
It doesn't even make sense that like where they're sending troops from the past or sending troops from the future or something. It doesn't matter. You could just say they're attacking. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I think about sometimes like, wouldn't it be cool if like they could have tied it even to Deepstone Crypt, where like some part of us like having to make an exo for somebody, like what if we Guardians with the light, like the reason why like they're so weird is that like it was something like fucked up, and like I don't know, we could have like also at any time we could just decide to be the reason that like that we create the Vex unintentionally. I think that would be so cool, like trying to dilute light into like more than just like for Guardians, like to harness it for like things to use. That'd be so cool because it would be like it was there the whole time, quote unquote. Like
I've been here the whole time.
Because the Vex attack, they have like a network because they're like a hive mind, but
Yeah.
they're not. They also are autonomous.
Well, the other problem that like I think when they say that like the Vex is hard to write for, I think part of what makes like the Hive shit hit more, and even the Cabal stuff hit more, and the Fallen, honestly, literally everything else, is that like they have a compelling backstory, and with the Vex, they almost went for like the mystery angle, which sometimes can be very compelling.
Exo Stranger paid off.
But like in a world where like all of the other major races have backstory, and like there is no interest in like exploring the Vex's past, it just makes it confusing. It's like we don't know anything about them, but not in like a ooh what a mystery way.
Yeah.
More of like a this feels unfinished. Everyone else is fleshed out.
Yeah.
And like we don't even acknowledge the mystery as if it's a mystery. Like that could work if you're like they're the one race that we can't like figure out. We literally like know the Hive's backstory. Like, you know, but we don't know what the Vex are doing. But they don't really like lean into that. So it's kind of like
I'm curious. Hopefully, the Conductor. So I believe the Conductor is this new villain character, because like it's really really hard. Like right now, Destiny is also in a bit of that supernatural problem, where Supernatural season 5, where it was supposed to be the first 5 seasons, ends like dealing with hell and shit. It's a big deal. They ultimately, like, at some point they deal with like Leviathans, which is cool. You're like, okay, bigger and bigger stuff, to the point where like they deal with like the concept of chaos of like God's sister and God as well. Like, and then the next season is like, well, now their mom's alive for some reason. What's like, how do you bring it back down when you've gone so big and like make it still feel like any of that? And you kind of can't with the Vex. Like, I don't know, like every time there's a new Vex mind, it's like, so they got enough milk and they built a big frame. Like, we just like, even in the story, even if you're paying attention, like you read lore tabs way more than I do, and I don't feel like you probably do know a lot more about the Vex than I do, but like
still not much.
I could, like, if we had to be like, where did the Vex come from? Like, what's
They
the
don't
deal?
know.
We don't know.
They don't know.
We don't know. It's just nothing.
They don't know.
And I mean, like, it's fine, but I don't know. It's kind of like
It's
stinky.
It's okay to have an unknowable enemy, but then you kind of have to lean into that in comparison to everything else and sort of make that their shtick, and they just don't.
Yeah. Well, it's like with all the seasons and stuff, it feels like for the last 10 years, like they haven't had enough. It always feels like there's never enough time.
Yeah.
Although one of the areas in the new, like when you're on Nessus and shit, you can go back to like some of the Forge areas, which are nice. Where some of the Forges were, and I'm like, oh, yay, old Forge content.
Forge content.
I like those arenas.
Yeah. The Vex are kind of in an interesting spot that, funny enough, like Star Trek actually sort of like ran into as well with the Borg. And so like the Borg initially were like sold as like they are a complete hive mind. Everything is communal. Everything is like it is just this enormous unknowable web entity mind acting through all of these different bodies kind of thing. Very they initially were like pitched very like insect hive, but like taken to the extreme of like hive mind kind of idea. Well, then the problem was when they wanted to make a movie specifically about the Borg and have them sort of be like the big villain in a way that they hadn't done before. They were really struggling to figure out they felt that in order to make it a compelling movie, they needed to have a singular villain. That it wasn't enough to have them be fighting this like, ensemble, basically. They wanted them to have like a voice for the Borg, basically.
I just remember that he's still up there. So
And so they decided to sort of like, among other things, take that original insect hive colony idea to its natural conclusion and be like, well, an ant colony is, centered around a queen ant.
Yeah.
So let's make a Borg Queen. Now there is a single personified figure who apparently, like, you know, gives order to the chaos of the hive mind, which in and of itself is kind of like, well, that doesn't make sense though, because you were trying to, like, the whole idea of the hive mind was that, like, they all just act as one, and, like, that's what the Borg is to, like, eliminate your individuality and, like, you know, bind you to this whole thing. But they're like, well, she is the voice that, like, she is also part of the hive, but she, like, you know, gives order to the voice.
She's girl hive.
Yeah.
She's different.
And
she's pink. She's here.
She's pink. The Pink series. Pink Nuju. So it, and I don't hate the idea of having the Borg Queen. I thought, like, she made a really, like, great villain in First Contact. It was really cool. It was compelling. So, like, I don't have a problem with it, but a lot of people did. And it is just kind of funny to me to now see Destiny almost kind of doing the same thing of going, like, we've tried making Vex enemies, the Vex presented as, like, this whole group. It's hard to, like, ascribe intention to, like, just this, like, mass enemy. And so, like, I think it's kind of interesting that now, like, for the sake of trying to make, like, a new compelling narrative for the Vex, they're like, we'll just make one person the Conductor, and now we have, like, a villain that we can sort of, like,
character,
like, get behind. And it's someone who's almost, like, disrupting that idea of, like, the Vex hive mind. Because before, even if we had, like, a villain, it was sort of like the directing mind, like Panoptes or whatever. And so now it's like, okay, well, now we have someone who's, like, changing the Vex. The Vex are changing, and I hate that.
Because, like, a big thing is, because, like, I'm trying to, like, I don't really know anything about the Conductor except that, like,
it's who it probably is.
Well, it's the big person in the, when you look at it, and then they don't let you make that picture bigger, so you're like, what do they look like? And I'm not Googling it, because I'm not all tapping.
Yeah.
I'm in an event. I've got to be busy. And, yeah, no, like, with Nessus being terraformed, well, not being terraformed, it's like
changing,
physically changing, and there's, like, bursts of light, which also are a great way to, like, allow transcendent spots to appear too, which not mad about at all. I think that's very creative, and I didn't put that together until just now.
You hate it, and you know it.
I do. I'm a hater.
Thank you.
I'm
that
I'm tall posse, and I hate. That would be.
I hate Destiny. It's your Halloween costume.
Yeah,
tall posse.
I should just, like, that's all my content is. I just take whatever he wrote and just make it, like, where it's the opposite. And then, like, I'm just a hater. And then maybe he'll
sometimes
notice our
Paul's
podcast.
a hater.
And would be the things I love.
Yeah.
I can't wait to love Paul. Wait, how does he feel about Power World? I don't want to play that game again. I'm not playing Power World.
He has a lot of emotions about Power World.
Yeah, right.
How could he not?
He's
Paul.
Of course he does. So.
You're assuming.
I am.
Just because he's with a woman and has a kid,
that's fair.
doesn't mean he's not. I think she is straight, but
yeah,
that's not.
Sexuality is not something you can see.
He's an ally.
Unless they show it. Yeah.
I at least know he's an ally.
He better be.
I don't know what else.
He's not a friend of the podcast if he ain't an ally.
That part. He may also be part of the. I don't know. It's not my place to speculate.
You know what? He hasn't tweeted anything.
He posts about pride and about representation.
Oh, wait, he does.
And I like Paul.
That's more than some places. That's more than some institutions that I know.
Paul will earnestly say representation matters, and I appreciate that.
You don't have to be gay to be cool with it.
That part.
You don't have to suck a dick to hate it.
You don't have to be gay to get off to Osiris and Saint, art.
Are you fucking mad? No. Hey, look, you can jerk off to whatever you want to jerk off to.
Yeah.
Within the laws of your land.
Exo-hole. Do you think it lights up?
Of course.
We'll take this offline.
Yeah. It's got a little jingle.
Well, like, their mouth lights up.
Okay, but, like, Osiris seems like such, like, a tired partner. Like,
I know.
Which I also, I guess he is very old and, like, has spent the majority of that life with this man dead.
Yeah,
so,
he's been miserable most of his life, and I get that, but I'm like, girly,
can you have a smile? Can you just,
like,
talk to your husband for, like, a moment?
Like, please seek help. And I don't mean that to be mean. Like, you genuinely, like, you have suffered incredible amounts of trauma, and you need help. And, like, I don't want to be mean to a victim, because he is, but also, like, you can't put all of that emotional, like, intent, like, on your husband. Like, Saint can't be the only one who's trying to help. Like, Saint's, listen, listen, I hate to be the one to say this. Love doesn't fix everything.
No.
You also need to, like, get help.
Yeah, you have to help. You have to kind of want to change, or you have to like want to feel it. And like Osiris's whole thing is that like he just has been looking for like one battle after another.
Yeah.
Like we just got done learning Strand not too long ago.
Like
I'm shutting up about that. I'm just mad. But like
baby boy needs some time to heal.
He do, and like it's just so upsetting that like he doesn't like. In the cutscenes where there's like they do like the epilogue and you get to see how everyone like reacts, and like even in that animated cutscene, like it was cute, but it was Saint narrating it, so it was Saint's version of him. And like I guess maybe it's a good way of showcasing like real relationships, and like Saint also having an existential crisis because like he is not the same Saint.
He's not sure if he's the same Saint,
which also is a little bit of that like, does it matter? Well, I guess it kind of, it's a whole, he has all the same memories.
It's a give and a take. It's messy. It's complicated.
Yeah.
There was an episode of Star Trek, because that's my only reference.
Osiris could have told us not to help him.
Yep.
Period. Poo.
There's an episode of Star Trek where there is a girl ship, Voyager, here on Voyager. There's an episode in like the 3rd season or something like that, where there's like a disaster and like reality goes whoopee whoopee whoo, and then like boom, there's 2 Voyagers.
Shit. Okay.
And
that exist like at the same time on top of each other.
Almost on top of each other. Actually, specifically directly on top of each other, but on parallel universes. But because of subspace, they're actually interacting. And
it's that space that normally nothing's ever in. They just so happen to be in the same spot.
And so like the one Voyager's efforts to like stabilize their warp core are inadvertently like destroying the other Voyager. So like the damaged Voyager's like, we don't know what the fuck is happening. This like pulse keeps happening like every like 10 minutes, and it's like slowly like destroying the ship. And then meanwhile, it'll suddenly jump cut to the other Voyager where everything's like clean and nice, and they're like, I don't understand. Like we keep like doing the pulse and it's not like bringing the warp core like down or whatever. Like it should be working. Do it faster. And it's like they're destroying the other Voyager without even knowing it.
Funny, yeah.
And so on the destroyed Voyager, some of the crew is dead, including newly born small baby Naomi and Harry Kim, and they're both dead. And
Rest in peace, One Direction.
R.I.P. Best song ever. And
YN.
Dance All Night.
Cake by the ocean. Sorry. Anyway, so these people are dead.
And so then, basically, to cut a long story very short, one of the Voyagers blows up. It sacrifices itself to save the other Voyager. Ironically, the like very like clean, well-equipped one
sacrifices,
destroys itself so that the fucked up damaged one can survive.
Which sounds correct, because they've done enough fucking damage. Yep. You don't get to let the one you beat up sacrifice itself.
But the thing that they do is they send their Harry Kim and Naomi through this like fissure that like is between the 2 ships.
Oh.
So even though that version,
the ship pussy.
Even though that version of Harry and Naomi Wildman are dead, they then give them theirs and then blow themselves up. So then at the end,
they choose to die. Like that's gotta be fucked up. Sounds like a cool episode.
So then unfortunately it is Voyager, so like they don't get to.
We don't think about all that.
They don't get to have as much time to think about like the actual intense emotional repercussions of such a thing, because it's Voyager and it was. I love that
time slot.
I love that show, but it wasn't great. It's one of my favorite Star Treks, but I can't say it's one of the best. But
Fair.
At the very end, they sort of have like Harry has this conversation with Captain Janeway where he's sort of having this like existential crisis where he's like, well, I'm just kind of sitting here trying to wrap my head around like either I'm the real me and all of you are not, or all of you are real and I'm not. It's just me and the baby, who's not his, by the way. It's not his baby. Yeah, no. And
double not his baby.
Yeah.
Not in this timeline.
Oop. And so she, like, the captain basically is literally like, well,
you're here.
You're here. And when you're here,
you're family.
You're family. And so it does sort of, like, reach this point where it's like, it is an interesting existential question to ask oneself, but ultimately, He's here. All of his friends are here. Everyone has the same memories. What fucking difference
The
does it
AC's
make?
on. He's listening to his favorite music. He's fine.
We're flying through space. He's playing the oboe because he did that in the earlier seasons before they changed it and made him play different instruments.
You can't just leave me on that. But yeah, I love it.
And it's great. So that's kind of how I feel about Saint. I understand how that would be like very like,
Yeah,
you know,
it's gonna be cool to see how he goes.
out of body almost like level of like, oh my god, what do I do with this? But at the end of the day, you're here. And so is everybody else.
See, but
And we all remember the same things.
the thing that bothers me though is that so while Saint is having this horrific existential crisis of like, am
I me?
is it worth it? Like, is it even like am I wrong?
Yeah.
Am I something wrong in the universe? Because like that is
I was
for us
supposed to be dead.
for us being paracausal in terms of the natural order of the universe, we have broken that many times.
Yeah.
Which shows that it's not something that exists, but it is something that kind of does need to be obeyed in a sense. It's, or at least that's what it's kind of stemming it up for, is the Conductor's trying to like, I don't care what you all did.
Yeah.
We're fixing this.
Yes. What's the deal with Saint's ghost? I've never even thought about that. Is Saint's ghost dead?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So we brought Saint back, but not Saint's ghost.
I think so.
So Saint lost his ghost in the Infinite Forest then? He must have, for him to have died permanently.
Maybe.
Oh, those crazy puffs.
Saint-14 ghost.
Like, who's his ghost? Is his ghost alive?
Is an exo from the last...
Partner with guest of the channel, Geppetto.
Geppetto. Oh, it was trapped and killed by the Vex in the Infinite Forest before we altered history by utilizing the sundial to travel to the past and rescue them.
Okay, so Geppetto... Oh, Geppetto is a she.
Oh, she's...
So Geppetto is alive. We got her back.
Mm-hmm. Well...
We brought her back with him?
Oh, wait. Like her partner, Geppetto was trapped and killed by the Vex.
Trapped and killed by the Vex. Before altering history.
Yeah, I think he has his ghost.
I think Geppetto's still alive.
Because if we would have, like, found... Because we found him while he was alive, and he still would have had his ghost. I don't know how they killed him. They killed him over time, right? Like...
Yeah, they just, like, killed him after, like, he destroyed mountains of Vex. And, like, it actually made the Vex respect him, and so, like, they built a monument to him.
Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing they killed his ghost then. So...
But then but now she's back.
We'll see. I would be curious. See, my thing too, though, is because Osiris doesn't have Segura anymore.
Right, Segura's gone.
Which I saw a post on Reddit where people were like, "Bungie, when will you bring back the Segura shell?" And me, who is still to this day on my Hunter uses the Segura shell, was just like, "I'm superior.
You don't deserve it.
No, you don't.
You weren't there.
It sucked, but you had to.
It sucked to get that fucking shell. I have it.
We had to go to the EDZ. We had to go
places.
It was annoying. But yeah, I think that like Osiris being so cold about it, because like he doesn't even go like saying like it's okay, like you're you. Like he,
okay,
I'm sure there's like I haven't seen all of the cutscenes because like I've only gotten as far as I've gotten. But like in the scene where it's introduced that he like is having this crisis, like Osiris just kind of is quiet the whole time and then goes, well, we can deal with that future after we're done with our current problem. And it's just like I felt very attacked because in the way that like Saint talked about Osiris and about like what he wants to do, I related a lot to that as someone who tries to be a bit more like very like, I do believe that love can fix everything, and I know that's not true. I am very well aware, but god damn it, I don't like not doing it because it makes me feel bad. And it's like, okay, cool, like you have the hope, and then just to have this, not even like, oh haha, like you're right, it's okay, we'll figure it out. But we gotta focus on what we're doing. Like you could have given a single crumb of comfort to really humanize Osiris. Because after his display in Lightfall, it leaves a lot to be desired.
They really fucked him up. They fucked him all the way up.
I get it, but also just like, bro, you're showing all this cool gay shit, and then you don't even like have him show like an ounce of compassion.
A decent relationship.
Because like he had what there was a bunch of fucking compassion over Nimbus's dad dying or whatever the fuck that guy's name was. Rohan. Not Protoss. Rohan. Like it was like a whole thing. We had to do memorabilia, and it's just like
I don't want to talk about it.
Well, yeah. I love Destiny.
But don't worry, Nimbus was there.
Nimbus was great. They're part of it.
Nimbus was there at the final shaping.
Yeah. Let's show them that this shape.
This shape ain't final. Ain't.
This shape ain't final. I
lost it.
It's
You never had it, Stanley. I lost
like
it.
it's of course Cade would say it, and like it's supposed to be a serious moment. But part of me would have thought it was a lot. It would have been a lot funnier if like you just hear like you know just the, like chatter like so the shape ain't final. And you just hear. What? Like it's just as a Zavala line going, or Ikora going, excuse me?
I know. I need anyone to call that fucker out on it. Like, please. Someone, please go. Shut up.
Do you think that the writers, when they wrote that line, they stopped and they went,
got that one?
Like, this is the hottest
thing. They went, this is Cade.
This pod racing.
This is Cade 6. Punch.
Let's tell them that this final shape. Let's show them that the shape ain't final.
Let's show them that this shape ain't final.
Like it's good in the it's bad.
It's bad. I mean, it's camp. It's
camp. It's fun. It's very Cade.
It is Cade.
We're being haters. I will admit. Like I'm being a little bit of a hater, but also it was a lame line.
It is the version of Cade that they made him in Destiny 2.
Did you know that the game
where they boiled away every like nuance of him and turned him into lovable rogue with funny line?
Yeah. What is Destiny 2 rated? Is it T?
T.
Yeah. Is it rated T for teen? I think it is.
I believe it is.
I don't know.
Rated T for Tussy.
T for Tussy. But yeah, like it really like it was in that moment that I like forget that it's not a mature game.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying is I wish just once, just like to be wild, Cade would have been like, fuck the witness.
Hell yeah. That would have been great. Just be like, fuck the witness.
Fuck this guy.
If he would have said, fuck the witness, let's show him the shape ain't final, that would have fucked.
That would have been different.
That would have made me shit and come.
I just want him to say, fuck this guy.
Fuck this guy.
Like, in, like on a real recording.
Check out this jagoff.
I need Nathan Fillion. Not a friend of the channel. But I need Nathan Fillion to get back in the booth and record the line, fuck this guy.
Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy, Guardian.
Oh,
I wonder if...
Guy Guardian.
Yeah, well, fuck this guy, Guardian.
Fuck this guy, Guardian.
I wonder if I could find
enough
enough Nathan Fillion quotes to make that quote for you.
I'm sure he said fuck.
Never. He still looks like a good Christian boy.
He has said fuck. I wish Halo would let people say fuck as well.
I don't know why they don't...
Like, people say fuck. And that's okay.
Yeah.
You too.
I'm real tired. Like, it's fucking annoying. It really, like, I'm saying fuck it right now because it's like, it's a way to express, like, I don't know. I don't need to say, it's so goddamn annoying. Like, that feels a lot more like I'm more mad about it. Like, it's fucking annoying. It's like, yeah, it's fucking aggravating. Like, I don't know. Fucking's a good, like,
yeah.
It's a great word.
Yeah. T. Well, this was a longer one than usual.
This was really nice. I had a lot of fun. So, it's the Hell Yeah Ratcast.
It's the Heck Yes Wrathcast.
Heck yes. We will need to get that video from the laptop.
Oh, boy.
So enjoy. Thank you guys for watching and hanging out with us. I hope you had fun. And we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Goodbye. Is that it?
Peace.